Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to go over all of the best players currently, in my opinion, in regards to each position, so you guys know who to chase after. So this isn't like a, most best value. I have a video that I just did for that, so if you're free to play or something like that, you can go watch those videos. That's no problem. This is for the guys that you know who to, so you know who to chase. So this is gonna kind of, I went through all of the cards, all of the new event items, and I went through and compared them all and just looked for the important stats. I need to mention, because there's probably going to be a ton of questions as to why I pick certain players over other players. Wingers, like I'll use wingers for example. Winger cards, you want to prioritize speed and wrist shot for wingers, because that is, the most important for those stats. You want to be able to burn down the wing, you want to be able to pick the corners when you cut in, things like that. For centermen, face-offs, and then, defensive attributes, I look for a little bit more than, speed, because, well, again, obviously having a faster center is nice, but it's not something that you really need to prioritize. You can sacrifice speed at the center position. On defense, obviously size is a major factor. The ability to bump players in your own zone and get them off the puck is super important, especially for defense, because they're the ones that are going to be in behind the boards and behind the net that you got to actually, the high danger chances that you got to make sure you get the puck knocked off of your opponent's stick. So that's why I chose some of these players you'll see, and I'll explain that as I go throughout. But before we get into it, guys, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. I just hit 20,000, which is insane. I want to thank everyone who has been watching my videos. If you're just new to the channel this year, I appreciate it, man. And don't forget, catch me on Twitch. I am going to change my stream time this week to 12 p.m. Eastern time start, because got to try and change some things up. It's just not working out going live early at 10 a.m. So if you want to catch me live and you have any HUT questions or anything like that, go to the Who Should You Choose video. I'll be doing that every single weekday. And then if I don't get to your question, just come into my Twitch chat and I'll be happy to help. All right, guys, let's get into the best players for each position as of November 15th. Guys, we'll start with left-handed winger cards. Coming in at number 4 is going to be the Auston Matthews from the Dynamic Duo set. And one thing I do need to mention is that when you're comparing stats, you need to take into play their synergy, because if they have a popular synergy like Howitzer or Speedster, you have to assume that if you're affording some of these cards that you are taking advantage of their synergy as well. Matthews with 91 speed with Speedster activated is absolutely nuts, especially considering he's 6'3", so defensively he's going to be a lot better than, for example, Howie Morenz, who he knocked off the list, because again, in the defensive zone, Howie Morenz just isn't effective at all, really. The 92 wrist shot power is great, and then when you combine the fact that a lot of people have distributor, again, these cards are the top end cards, so I'm going to take into account that a lot of people will have distributor activated, for the more HUT rich, I guess, among us. But a really, really all well-around card. I have this card, and it is one of my favorites. You definitely notice how fast he is, and his shot is fantastic. A really good left-handed winger. He checks in at number 4. Coming in at number 3 is the 90 overall Daniel Sedin. The reason why it's not the 91 is because I do cards that are actually accessible. 91 is just an overpayment. There's really no reason to go out and get the 91 unless you are HUT rich. Same with HUT Champs cards. I don't include it because you're not going to be able to get those. So again, the distributor on Daniel Sedin is obviously important. It bumps his speed up to 89, but the thing is that it can't get any higher. He doesn't have a speed synergy like Howitzer or Speedster, so 89 is very, very high. It's nothing crazy, though, when you consider some of these other top-end cards. His shot is great. His wrist shot accuracy at 96 is awesome. Then all of his hand stats is where he really excels. All of it basically above 93, and then defensively as well, the stick checking at 91, defensive awareness at 90. Just an all-around really, really good card. The reason why Henrik Sedin is not going to be on this list is because he's a little bit slower, only by 1, but just his other stats I'm not a huge fan of. A very, very good card, and if you wanted to choose the Henrik Sedin over Matthews, I can totally understand it. I just don't think, A, the value is right, and B, I think that Matthews excels because of Speedster, because he can also get the distributor boost as well. So that, I know I'm going to get a lot of questions on that, but I do like Daniel a little bit better than Matthews, and he would be my 3rd choice for left-handed wingers. Coming in at number 2 is still the base Connor McDavid. This is by far one of my most favorite cards that I still use, and Magician is still a synergy that some people do have activated. I have it activated. I think that it is the 3rd synergy to try and grab. Again, it activates things that all of them are important, okay? And they all kind of coincide. So agility, deking, and puck control all getting a +4 boost really helps the puck control ability. You can really deke cleanly with him, and you're going to see that on the next card as well. However, I think that because of that synergy boost, it's so much better than the Primetime and the Duo version, which is why the 87 is listed here and not the 88. The +1 to everything else I don't think is all that much of an advantage. I think Magician is a far better synergy than those ones have. And again, that is why I choose the 87. 92 speed before distributor. The only thing that I'm not a huge fan of is the wrist shot power 85, but I have no problem scoring with Connor McDavid as he just flies down the wing. All the hand stats above 90. Defensively, his defensive awareness at 88 is okay. The only thing that he kind of lacks is the ability to get the puck back in his own zone. But for wingers, it's not super important because, again, the winger's job in the defensive zone is the defenseman at the top. And, again, that's just not something that you need to prioritize. So number 2 is still the base Connor McDavid. And number 1 is still the 89 Teuvo Teravainen. So again, I have this card, and he is just a ton of fun. So again, with the Magician synergy activated, he basically has 99 in agility, deking, and puck control at 96. If you have distributor activated, it bumps it up even more. His speed goes to 92. His shot is all basically 90, and then his hand stats are absolutely nuts. The half spins that you can pull off with Teravainen, the dekes and whatnot, they're so clean and quick. You really notice it. Again, if you haven't tried him out, I would totally recommend it. He is a cheaper option among the Master Set guys. I think he's one that gets forgotten quite a bit. His defensive awareness and stick checking is a little bit better than Connor McDavid, and all around, I really like his deking ability, which is why he is still my number 1 left-handed winger card. It just kind of goes to show the current state of left-handed wingers. There just isn't a ton of fantastic ones. The right side got all the love early on in NHL 21. I have a feeling that in the next Master Set event or something like that, we're going to see some pretty big left-handed winger cards. Moving on to the righties, the 89 William Nylander checking in at number 4. Again, Swarm and Magician are the synergies that I would recommend going after you have Distributor, Howitzer, and Speedster. And again, that makes it really difficult to activate Swarm and Magician. However, if you can, those are the next ones that I would choose. And it's not that Swarm is better than like Barrage or Spark or anything like that. It's just with only 8 required, it's easier to activate, and the agility boost, defensive awareness, and stick checking are all really important stats, so that is why. I don't have anything activated other than Magician with him, and again, it's a lot like that Teravainen card. I can really half spin around and control the puck with ease with Nylander. 89 speed, you get that boosted from Distributor up to 92. All 90 shooting, as well as good stick checking, defense, and defensive awareness stat. A really good right-handed card, and no change here. He is still the number 4 right-handed winger in my opinion. After him, again, no change here. Number 3 is the 89 Artemi Panarin, 5'11", 168. Really small, but again, usable in the meta for NHL. 2190 speed, acceleration, agility up to 92. His wrist shot is 95 and 91. With distributor, that speed obviously boosted to 93, which is fantastic. Hands all around 95, and then stick checking and defensive awareness at 93 and 89. This is just a better version of Nylander, a really good card. Still going to cost you quite a bit. If he had even one synergy that I would recommend activating, I'd really, it'd be awesome. Not that passing playmaker is any bad. It's just that there's a lot of cards that I think don't, like a lot of top-end cards don't have it, so you kind of have to hamstring your team if you have a top-end team, which is kind of annoying. I'm never one to kind of, sacrifice having the better player just for a synergy, which is why I'm bigger on Magician than I am passing playmaker, because the top-end cards, there's more that have Magician than passing playmaker. Number 2 is still the 89 Mario Lemieux. With Distributor and Howitzer, he is an absolute force and will always be. If the synergies stay the same when he gets his silver and gold icon, this is probably going to be the best card in the game, the entire length of the game. 6'4", 225. You're not getting the puck off of him if you know how to control it correctly. Speed up to 96, agility 97. The only thing that sucks is his endurance, which obviously is tough, but at 80, any lower would be really bad, but his shot, all 94. Hand stats, all 94, with passing and puck control up to 97. Defensively, he's great with defensive awareness at 90. Just an all-around fantastic card, and in my number 2 right-handed winger, the reason why he is still the best card in the game, even though the number 2 right-handed winger, is because, well, there's one card that is just the best right winger in the game. No, there's no argument about that, but the synergy combo, combined with the fact you can play him at center, is what makes him the best card in the game. And then lastly, the number 1 one right-handed winger still since the launch of the game is Guy Lafleur. 96 speed with Speedster activated, 99 with Distributor. His wrist shot is 97 and 99. He is the perfect winger card in this game. Hand stats, other than hand-eye, all above 92. Defensive awareness at 88. This is the best offensive card in the game for his position. Right-handed winger, this is it. This is what you're looking for. Guy Lafleur is the card to go get. I still would recommend getting Gretzky and Lemieux first. Lemieux before Gretzky. The reason being is you know you're getting them. There is a risk to try and get Guy Lafleur, but after that, he is the card to target. Onto the center position, we've got the 89 Patrice Bergeron with the Howitzer Synergy. Still, the number 4 best centerman in my opinion. Again, you really have to prioritize the face-off stat here, which is why he's ahead of some of the other cards. But 88 speed before Distributor, 90 agility. His shot is fine at 86 accuracy, 90 power with Howitzer on. His hand stats all around 90, defensive awareness and stick checking at 94, 95. And then that face-off rating at 93 just makes him one of the best centers you can get. And even if you were to grab him now, there'll be better cards that come out, but 93 face-offs and the fact that he's got like 91 speed with Distributor means you could use him for months, and there's really no issue. You could always just have him on your 4th line. In at number 3 is the 89 Wayne Gretzky, 90 speed, acceleration, and agility with 94 endurance, shot at 94, 91 for accuracy and power, hand stats all 94, face-offs 90. This is a fantastic card. If he had even one synergy that would be popular among like the actual team building, he would be an unbelievable card. The problem is that his synergies just aren't something that you look to activate, as aggression on barrage is completely useless, and offensive awareness is not a stat that you can notice. Offensive awareness is basically helps determine pickups when you're close or when you get bumped off or lose the puck. The higher offensive awareness, the better chance you have to get the puck back, which is important, but it's not nearly as important as Distributor. So that is why, but he checks in at number 3 as he has 90 faceoffs, which is fantastic. He's fast, great shot. Number 3 in my opinion. Coming in at number 2 among centermen is the 90 Alex Barkov with the Howitzer Synergy. Again, a fantastic card. 88 faceoffs, so he's lower among that aspect, but speed at 87 with Distributor. He's 90. His shot is all above 90. Hand stats above 93. Defensively, he's great with 94 stick checking and 94 awareness. Body checking 88, and he's 6'3". This is a fantastic card, and if it were not for number 1, he would be the best center, but there's really, you know, if you don't have Bergeron or Gretzky or the number 1 card, then I would grab Barkov because, you know, don't overthink it. He is expensive to make before this event ends, but I have a feeling he's going to stay really high in price because he's still a fantastic card all the way around. And then number 1, we've got the 89 Marcel NOEBELS with the Howitzer Synergy. Again, boosts his speed up to 91 with Distributor. Agility is 98. His shot is fantastic. 91 accuracy, 96 on the wrist shot, slap shot at 97 power. His hand stats, deking's a little low. Offensive awareness, passing, and puck control above 90. Puck control 84, actually, that's a little low as well. But again, you know, with the center position, hand-eye, in my opinion, is a little bit more important than puck control. But his defensive awareness at 87, face-offs at 91, body checking 88. Really, it just comes down to the shot and speed slightly better than Barkov. Other than that, he's, you know, the exact same. You can kind of interchange these two. There's an argument that can be made for both. I prefer this card. I use him every day, and he's still one of my favorite cards. So he is the number 1 center in the game currently. On to left-handed defenseman, we've got number 3, Paul Coffey with the Distributor. Synergy, Thief, pretty useless. I mean, stick checking is important, but a defenseman with a face-off stat is just completely... Anyways, 90 speed, his skating is fine, his shot all at 90, his hand stats are great as well, passing and puck control at 94, 92, and then stick checking at 90 and 91, is 6 foot, so in his own zone, he's not going to be as strong as these other guys, but offensively, he's fantastic to use and a really, really fun card. Coming in at number 2 among left-handed defensemen is the 90 Roman Josi. Again, synergy's not very good. Swarm is okay. Shutdown, while it's not bad, it gives you shot blocking is pointless stat to have. It's not one that it's going to be you're ever going to use or need. You can sacrifice that one entirely because very rarely does the AI actually go down for a shot. It doesn't help you really when you're manually blocking one. But 87 speed, is shot 90, slap shot power at 93, and then passing puck control 93, 92. Where he outclasses Paul Coffey is the stick checking 94, defensive awareness 94, and then 6'1" with 88 body checking and 92 strength. He's going to be able to get people off the puck a little bit easier. He's fast with distributor activated and a good slap shot, and all around my number 2 left-handed defenseman. Still, the number 1 left-handed defenseman in the game is MIRO HEISKANEN. With distributor and speedster activated, his speed is up to 93. This is a card that I notice still. On my stack team, I don't really notice players all that much because everyone is so good, but there are a few players that still stand out for me, and MIRO is one. You can take the puck and just cruise through an entire team if you have speedster and distributor activated. His wrist shot is really nice. I score with his wrist shot more than I do his slap shot. If you hold out the forehand and then set your shot and fire it low blocker, it goes in a lot. Passing puck control 94, stick checking and defensive awareness at 92. All around, really, really good card, and still the best left-handed defenseman in the game. Coming in for right-handed defenseman at number 3 is the 89 Colton PARAYKO at 6'6". Now, I debated with myself to still have the lit CARLSON here. The CARLSON is much faster and whatnot, but if you pair PARAYKO with someone fast, like Paul Coffey or even Scott Niedermayer, for example, defensively, there's no match. Like, 84 speed is fine if you have distributor activated. His slapshot power at 95 is great. Slapshot power is what you want to prioritize among defensemen. Accuracy, while it's important, not as important as slapshot power. Passing puck control at 89, and then defensive awareness and stick checking at 90 is just great. And then the fact that he's 6'6", like, you're going to be able to bump anyone off the puck. If you can get workhorse activated, you're in business, because acceleration, in my opinion, is really important for defensemen. And if you can get it up to 87, then you're in business, in my opinion. So the number 3 right-handed defenseman is Colton PARAYKO. 2 is John Carlson with Howitzer and Distributor, the two best synergies, the best combo in the game. 91 speed with it activated, his slap shot power at 94 and 85 accuracy, so better than PARAYKO. Passing and puck control is almost maxed, and then defensively with stick checking at 93 and defensive awareness at 92, you're in business here. At 6'3", he's a great defenseman and has the best synergy combo. Just an all-around fantastic card, and someone that I would still look to grab again because of that synergy combo. He's going to be usable for a long time. And then the number 1 right-handed defenseman in the game, in my opinion, is the EKBLAD with 90 speed with Howitzer activated. Gets it up to 93 with Distributor. His slapshot power is 95 and 84, much like Carlson. Defensively with defensive awareness at 94 and 93 for stick checking, and body checking 91 in a 6'4 frame. He is the all-around best right-handed defenseman, and probably the best defenseman in the game if you have Howitzer and Distributor activated. I use him all the time. He's my first-line right-handed defenseman. He's great. Don't overthink it. If you don't have John Carlson, I would get EKBLAD, because again, I don't really think it's all that smart to spend 600 or 500k on a second line defenseman. But if you don't have John Carlson, grab EKBLAD. The goalies now, and again, this is always going to be subjective, guys. I think that the goalies are super looked at way too in depth. Defense, how you play defense is going to determine how good a goaltender is. But the one thing I do differentiate and look for goaltenders is how many times do you notice a goaltender make a save that you think should have gone in. And that's what I base this on. So I haven't used Lit Carey Price. I've heard good things about him, but statistically, he is fantastic. He's got lower aggression. He's got great speed. Glove high is 84, which is kind of low, but stick high is 87, and positioning is 88. This should be a really, really good card, but again, goaltender is going to be subjective. Still number 1, in my opinion, is the 89 Linus ULLMARK. He makes saves that just... I blows my mind sometimes, and again, I play Hut Champs every week. I'm in high Division 2 for Rivals, so it's not like I'm playing bad players. Just makes saves a lot of the time that I just don't think he has any business making. He has lower aggression, 84. I wish it was a little bit lower, but 89 glove high, so he can make those glove saves. Positioning at 89, speed 87. Still the best goaltender, but again, I would not recommend spending this kind of money to get him. But if you are, Hut rich, this is the best one statistically and from just personal experience. Alright guys, so that is the best cards for every position. Let me know what you think in the comments section down below, and please subscribe if you haven't already for daily NHL content. I'll see you next time.